replay. And we are going to talk about what you must know in private practice. So this is more than just like what you need to know to start a private practice, or three must-haves. I mean, this is really getting down to the things that not only are going to make you money, but also that are going to make you happy, because you have to be happy in this business. You have to avoid burnout. So again, welcome to everybody who's joining me today. If you're watching in Texas Counselors Creating Badass Businesses, welcome to you. If you're watching in the Step It Up group, welcome. Just don't forget, if you're in Step It Up, you can go to the Facebook page, the Step It Up Facebook page, click the Zoom link, and you can join me and ask questions. And if you're watching the replay, welcome to you too. I'm so glad you're here. This is part of what I'm trying to do to really help folks learn the basics in an affordable way. I mean, let's face it, the basics never change. I was an orchestra teacher for 15 years. I taught bow grip 8 gazillion times. The bow grip has been around for about 500 years. It hasn't changed. And so when I teach the bow grip, I get a little bored. So when you're learning the basics, there's really no need to spend a lot of money. I mean, you're learning the basics so you can get started, but they really don't change. So I'm trying to give you guys the basics for as low cost, inexpensive, free as I possibly can. So you can spend your money on the good stuff like specialized training, HIPAA compliant software, supervisor training, all of those things that are really going to make your practice more robust. So one of the things I want to remind you guys is that, again, you can get this replay at katewalkertraining.com. If you're not a Step It Up member, you can get it for $20. I'm going to post in the thread. You'll get the link so you can join Step It Up for 50% off today. And if you are in the Step It Up group, it goes into your archive. So that's pretty cool. All right, I'm looking to see, I've got my eye on Facebook so I can catch questions. I've got my eye over here so I can see if there are any comments. I feel like I'm ready to go. So I'm going to talk about this. All right. So 3 things that I thought of might not be the 3 things that you think of. One of the things that we sent out to members of the Step It Up community was an article that by one of those companies that will pay you to be on their account or something like that. And so they'll kind of take care of you in that way. So I'm not going to say the name because they're not paying me, but here's some of the things that they talk about that are important. Define an ideal customer. Number 2, create a digital presence. 3, build your referral network. 4, get an EHR practice management tool. Hint, hint, that's what they're selling. And then additional resources. So yes, all of that is well and good in there. It's wonderful. And those are things that you need. But let's be real. The first thing you need when you're starting your private practice is a bank account. You will make money. You will take client income. You will take money from your clients. And LPC associates, you can do this now. You can take money from your clients. So you must have a bank account to put those funds into, all right? And the way most folks set up a bank account is by having a DBA in their hand, or LLC or PLLC paperwork. So that will tell the bank, hey, I'm in business, and the money will be coming into here through either some sort of a service like Ivy Pay or something that will hide your clients' names because that's protected health information. And then that money goes here. You will keep it separate from your personal funds so you can track it easily for taxes. So when you have to buy your couch or your computer or all the things, that's an expense that you will then write off at the end of the year. So you have to have a bank account. Number 1, first and foremost. Number 2, consistent marketing. Even if you plan on being on insurance panels, you must be a consistent marketer in your community. I mean, this month is fabulous, right? Because it's May, it's Mental Health Awareness Month. It's a great big theme. You can come up with cool graphics and you can send out emails and you can do all the social media posts. And then May is over. Okay, now you got to do it again. You got to do it again in June. Oh, yeah, and you have to do it in July. Oh, and August. Oh, by the way, you have to do it all the time. And if you don't do it, what happens, the people who are watching you, listening to you, counting on you for those posts, those Facebook posts, those Twitter things, those TikTok dances, or whatever it is that you do to market your practice, well, they're going to keep scrolling and they're going to keep going, and you will fade into the background. So whatever your voice is, whichever is your chosen form of getting yourself out there, you must be consistent. So that's why I don't put number 2 as just marketing or get a digital presence. Yeah, anybody can do that, right? My kiddo can do that. My husband can do that. Anybody can get a digital presence, but it won't work if you are not consistent. So one of the things I'm going to do this month is I'm going to walk folks through my editorial calendar and my marketing calendar. And it's something that I started really disciplining myself to do a couple of months ago. And I'm so excited for future me, right? 2023 Kate is like so happy right now because she won't have to do near the work that 2022 Kate is having to do, because every time I put something into the editorial calendar for May next year, we can use the same content, tweak it a little bit, and put it out. So way less work as we go year by year by year. But yeah, right now on the front end, it's not easy. And I am very email heavy right now. I'm very social media heavy right now. I'm putting out all kinds of things. And you probably noticed that in your email box. And that is all planned, and it's according to a schedule, and it's according to a theme. So that point number 2, having a consistent marketing strategy, I'm going to help you do that. Look for that. I think I'm going to do that next Thursday. I'm not sure if you're watching the replay, just look for it in the title. I'm going to help you, walk you through my editorial calendar. Super important. Number 3, you've got to avoid burnout. Okay. I know seeing clients is just, it's such a joy. It's your dream. It's everything you've ever wanted. And graduate students, when you get that LPC associate going, you're like, this is it. I'm doing my dream job. And you are, and we want you to feel like you're doing your dream job. But here's the thing. It's sort of the bow grip dilemma. You remember a minute ago when I talked about the bow grip, right? After a while, you kind of get tired. You get a little worn down. I had one interview that I did with the amazing Ebony Harris. She's so cool. She's so awesome. And she's my former intern. That's what we called them back in the day. And she actually came up with some materials that her new couple intake folks, they could have before their first session. She's like, Kate, I'm telling them the same thing in the first 2 to 3 sessions anyway. So why not give them a workbook, have them go through that. And then when they get to me, it's like we're already rolling. And it's not only for the couple, it's for her, right? Because it fights that sort of monotony of having to do the same thing over and over again. So what I'm going to talk about this month are 3 things. We're having a virtual conference in June on the 1st and the 2nd and the 7th. It's about how adding things can actually decrease that stress and that sort of heaviness that you feel after a while in your practice. Of course, it's also a great way to add additional streams of income, but it can be used for marketing, it can be used for income, it can be used as an added resource for your clients. So when I talk about that, it's going to flow nicely into the editorial calendar. So for example, adding a podcast, right? Adding a blog, right? That takes consistency. That takes a message, a clear message that you put out there all the time. But it's a wonderful way for your clients to access a little piece of you before they book that appointment. With a podcast, they get to hear your voice. They get to hear your cadence, how you speak, the points you make in the blog post. They get to see how you frame things. It's really a way of forming a relationship before that first phone call. So it's, of course, you can monetize these things, and we'll talk about that, how to monetize your blog, how to monetize your podcast. But Having those things in place. Also, public speaking. We're going to talk about public speaking in one of our virtual conferences, how to make money doing that, and of course, how to use it as a marketing tool. There is a way that you can develop a press kit, so it's ready to go. You can send it out and inform your audience, your intended audience, who you're going to talk to, and you can have this sort of not a canned speech, but it's basically the same talk that you give again and again and again. And who are you talking to? You're talking to your ideal client, right? Because we do want you to figure out who your ideal client is. And once you find that ideal client, talk to them, form a relationship with them consistently. And the last thing, I know a lot of people have asked me how I put courses together, how I put them online. I'm going to talk about that on the 7th. That's going to be our final virtual conference topic, adding CEs, courses, workshops to your practice. This is such a fun way to get your colleagues involved in your business, right? Because in Texas, there's no approved provider. So all it takes is just following the rules that a CE provider has to follow, taking attendance, making sure that you have certificates, keeping a copy of those certificates for a certain number of years. There are certain things that you do that will make you a great CE provider, and then you can monetize that and add it for an additional stream of income for your practice. So you can see what's happening here, right? Yes, you've got these 20, 25, 30 client hours that you're going to deliver every week. And then one day you're like, wait a second, my online courses just took the place of 5 clients. I don't have to see 30 clients this week. I can see 25. Or, oh wait, my online courses and my speaking opportunities just took care of 10 client hours, the money I would have made. I think I can see 20 clients, right? So just by doing these sort of bigger opportunities that you can monetize, it's going to help with your burnout. It's going to help liven up your practice, and it's going to help reduce the number of hours, the number of direct hours that you'll spend seeing clients. And that, of course, is to help you with the burnout. Now, I'm going to take 1 second and just look and see how we're doing on the Facebook Live. And if I've done this right, I should be in Texas Counselors Creating Badass Businesses, unless, of course, the internet tells me no, which in land passes, that can happen a lot. So here's what we've covered today. We've covered 3 things that I think are essential for not only new practice owners, but any practice owners, because we all tend to make the same mistakes early on. And again, if we're all going to make the same mistakes and we're all going to be beginners doing the same things early on, what is the point of charging you a lot of money to learn this stuff, right? That's why I'm giving it to you for free. I'll charge you later when you take my supervisor training or you take my HIPAA training. But right now, just getting you started, getting you in your community. Remember, I want you out there in rural Texas. I want you out there serving the underserved. I'm not going to charge you a lot of money, like none, to give you these basic skills to get you out there doing what you do best, seeing clients. So the 3 things are, number 1, open a freaking bank account, whether it's with a DBA or you've got your little envelope of corporate papers and you're a PLLC now. Open a bank account dedicated solely to your business. Connect it to the thingamabob that's going to collect the money from the client. Make sure that you protect the information in a HIPAA compliant fashion. Number 2, don't just market. Don't just have a website. Don't just do social media. Market consistently. Watch my video next week when I walk you through my editorial calendar, my marketing calendar. That 2023 Kate is jumping up and down. She is like patting me on the back. She is so happy with me right now because I'm doing all the work for her. So next year she can go do something else. I don't know, maybe she'll write another book. That would be super cool. Number 3, add to your practice to lessen the stress on you, to help you avoid burnout, to increase income, of course, but also to liven up what you do, okay? And this can also be part of your consistent marketing strategies. So you can join our virtual conference. If you're watching this live, if you're watching this on a replay and it's after June 7th, sorry, you're going to have to wait till next year. Our virtual conference this year, the first, June 1st, June 2nd, and June 7th. And we're going to talk about blogging, podcasting, non-traditional modalities. I didn't even talk about how you can add yoga, you can add walk talk therapy to your practice with the proper training and supervision. The other thing we're going to talk about is public speaking. I love public speaking as a marketing tool. I wrote a book. I take my book with me, and when I do my public speaking, everybody in the audience can take a little piece of me with them for $20. Also, then adding courses, right? Adding continuing education, offering that certificate to your colleagues for their continuing educational requirements for the year. It's a great service and you can charge for it. And if you figure out how to do it online, you can make money while you sleep, which then reduces that client load and makes your brain a happy camper. When you come to the virtual conference, I believe that's on the 7th, we're going to talk about courses. I'm going to walk you through everything. I'll show you what storefront I use. I'll show you the learning management system that I use, because I just switched from a really big kind of it was too big. It was too much for what we needed, to something that's so much simpler and so much, I love it. So yeah, I'm going to walk you through everything. Nothing held back, no holds barred. Is that a word? Anyway, I'll show you how I put courses online. So please make a note of clicking here, and the cost for the virtual conference, it's free. Why? Because it's basic. Remember, if it's basic, I'm going to give it to you for nothing or close to nothing. Yes, I'm going to charge you for the supervisor training, but this basic stuff, you need it, and you need it now. So that's it. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for watching the replay, if that's what you were doing. I'm Dr. Kate Walker. I'm an LPC and LMFT supervisor in Texas, and I'm so glad you tuned in today. I will see you around. Subscribe, click, like, save, do all the things. I will see you soon.